Hey gals, can you believe it? It's March. March is Women's History Month. Si se puede. March is also National Nutrition Month. And when it comes to nutrition, everyone always has a ton of questions, and that's understandable. But what we're going to talk about today is taking away some of that mystery or helping simplify some of the things that we can do. Little changes make huge differences. For example, after work, I worked out, got hungry, picked up a brisket sandwich and a side. I normally take that sandwich, open it up, put all the meat on one side. I make sure to ask for the barbecue sauce on the side so it's not all in the sandwich. And I chose coleslaw instead of French fries as a side, and honestly ended up saving quite a few calories. It isn't always about calories either. Once you learn portion sizes and what that looks like, it can save a lot of time when you're preparing different meals. I enjoy making my morning smoothie and have gotten used to what each portion looks like. And there are times when you need to count calories. Back in 2019, I actually qualified for National Senior Games in Sprint Triathlon, met with a sports dietitian. She and I went over exactly what it would take to fuel my exercise. We talked specific macronutrients, how many grams of fat, how many grams of protein, and how many grams of carbohydrate. And yeah, it did get a little tedious, blah, blah, blah. But it helped me successfully complete a pretty tough triathlon. That was back in 2019. A lot of things have changed since then. Can you guess what it was? Menopause? That's right. There it is again. There it comes again to just sauce. And with menopause, remember, our nutritional needs change. So what can we do? You can try some things like mindful eating, being aware of hunger cues. And even before that, really sense whether or not you're hungry. Am I really hungry? Think about, is your belly growling? Are you kind of low energy? Has enough time passed since your previous meal? So Kim, is it really all about having to count calories?
So some people find counting calories as helpful, but most people don't. Most people like to just listen to their body, but that sounds simple, listening to your body. It can be difficult to understand what our body is telling us. But once we learn to understand our body cues and how to fuel our body appropriately, you don't necessarily have to count calories.
Patients tell me, oh, well, I'm used to having 4 tacos every morning for breakfast. How am I going to change that?
Yeah, great question. So I like to think about having 3 food groups at meals and 2 food groups at snacks. So if we're thinking about in the morning that we want to have breakfast tacos, so we can think, okay, we have the tortilla, we have the beans or the eggs or the chorizo or whatever we want on there. But then we're missing that 3rd food group. We're missing a fruit or a vegetable. So if we can find a way to swap out that 3rd or 4th taco and have a fruit instead, that's going to increase our fiber, which is going to help us stay fuller longer and likely going to help meet our needs better.
What kind of snacks do you recommend?
I recommend a protein at every single snack and then some kind of fiber-rich food. So let's say you can have peanut butter and a banana. You can have nuts and fruit. You can have hummus and carrots. But we really need that protein, but we also need the fiber because fiber has a lot of different roles in our body and it helps with that fullness.
And so with food groups then, you're keeping 3 of them in the meals, 2 in a snack. How much? Because I know folks can put down 2 little mandarin oranges. Do I really need to do 2 or is 1 good enough?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So I love using visuals. So thinking about the size of our fist, a female's fist or a baseball is about the serving size of a fruit. So mandarin oranges, I happen to have some.
Oh, perfect.
So when we look at these mandarin oranges, they're little, right? And then, so 2 of these mandarin oranges are about the same size of an apple. So thinking about, do they fit my fist? And then how do I know when I'm full? We hit on that earlier. So often we eat until our body feels a little stretchy. We're eating oh, I got a little bit of room. Let's fill it all up. Fullness doesn't mean everything's filled up.
Okay.
We want to eat to satisfaction. When you're eating something and you think, I've got a little bit of room over here. We don't need to fill up all that room. We need to end the eating episode where we feel content. We don't feel like,
what is it? We should eat till we're no longer hungry, not till we're full.
yes, because a lot of people think full means that your belly feels distended. If you have to unbutton your pants, we eat a little past fullness. It's a learning lesson. We often were taught in different cultures and different families, we're going to clean that plate. There's starving kids in Africa, or I paid for that food, you're going to eat it. And so we were taught, don't listen to your body, listen to outside influences. So we have to retrain ourselves. Like, what does my body feel like? Because when we push those judgments out, we're better able to hear our body. Like, hey, I'm satisfied, I can stop, instead of in your mind thinking about I shouldn't be eating this cookie, and then we don't even enjoy it.
How about like with nutrition and menopause?
So I would say if you are going through menopause, through the stage of life, many women do not eat enough protein. And so trying to get that protein in, and when you're thinking about, okay, I'm going to have 3 meals and 1 snack. Do I have a protein source at every meal? So kind of thinking it out, and then also, where's my protein? So to make sure that you're staying full, because we need to maintain our muscle stores, and to do that, we have to have enough protein. One more thing I want to throw out is food is designed to be enjoyed. So don't think about food as the enemy, and food is something that I can't eat anything yummy. It can be delicious and it can be nutritious, but it just may take a little bit more planning and thinking of, do I have 3 food groups at meals, and do I have 2 food groups at snacks? And are they primarily like natural foods, or are they ultra processed?
Hey, Kim, thanks for talking to us about nutrition today. Drop your comments, get up, get out, get something.